Hello, everyone, and thank you so much for joining us today for our Spotlight event on how Upwork invests in your success. Please note that this event is being recorded and will be available to review in the coming days on the community events page. I'm going to drop that link in the chat right now. My name is Will, and I'm an event manager here at Upwork. And today we're fortunate to be joined by Upwork's coaching manager, Lindsey Silvestri, and Academy Director, Michelle Ryan. Thank you so much for joining us today, ladies.
Yeah, thanks, Will. Thanks for having us. As Will mentioned, my name is Lindsey, and I am so excited to be here today to talk through resources Upwork provides to talent. As Will mentioned, I am the manager of Upwork Academy programs, and more specifically, I manage our Upwork coaching team. I've worked at Upwork for 5 years, and I've been focused on programs supporting talent for the last 4. Excited to be here.
Hi, everyone. My name is Michelle Ryan. I am the director of Upwork Academy. I do not have as long a tenure as Lindsey. I just started in 2021, but we've done a lot with Academy. We've rolled out a lot of new programs, and I'm just super happy to be here and excited to share a lot of the perks that we have to offer our talent community.
Happy to have you both. And for those that have joined on previous events, you may recognize the Academy is the one that I keep posting links for. It's a great program. We'll be diving into it later. So today's agenda is going to look a little bit different than other events you may have seen me host here on Upwork. This is not going to be a training session on proposals or interview techniques or anything along those lines. This is a spotlight event, and it's aimed at highlighting the multitude of resources, features, initiatives which support the talent community on Upwork. We're going to be covering a wide variety of topics from a pretty high level, but I will do my best to provide links for further information in the chat as we go and in the description for those watching a recording of this at a later date, since we only have an hour together today. Over my time interacting with Upwork in a variety of ways, first as a client on the platform, then as a full-time freelancer, and now hosting events for the Upwork talent community, I have seen a tremendous amount of effort, evolution, and investment going into supporting the talent community. Many of these programs I was surprised to discover seemed not to be so widely known. And I know I was not aware of them when I first started working on Upwork and would have benefited greatly from knowing about them when I was building my business. So I wanted to take some time and share the love and highlight how Upwork invests in your success and spotlight these different initiatives, programs, and product features, all designed to enhance your success on Upwork. Some of these programs you may already be aware of, some of them perhaps not, but it's my goal for us all to leave this event feeling appreciated, valued, and supported on Upwork. I want to start us off by setting the stage a little bit. When I originally first started freelancing on Upwork, I had no idea the life-enriching results I'd see from taking those steps and investing in myself as an independent professional by parting from my corporate 9-to-5 position at the time. I can now look back and state confidently that Upwork has indeed changed my life for the better. And the same sentiment has been expressed by pretty much every professional I've had the pleasure of interviewing here on Upwork. It's provided me the ability to own my time again, control how I worked, who I worked with, and what I wanted to work on. And I think many of you will find that our Upwork origin stories have a very similar thread to them, meaning we have a remarkable amount in common with the community of freelancers around the world who decide to work on Upwork. We're here to build our life on our terms with our own skills. We don't just hope for a better way of working, we're actively building it together. And anyone that's done this for any length of time knows that trailblazing can be a lonely path. But with the Upwork global community, we are stronger together. And we're going to be getting into that detail later in the presentation. And we all know that anything worth doing is typically not without challenges along the way, hence why we have events like this where we try and demystify some of those aspects. So I'd like to pivot now to the focus of our event today, starting off with a topic of massive importance, which is trust and safety. One of the primary factors that made Upwork stand out against other marketplaces when I was first dipping my toes into the freelancing world was the integrity of the platform and the professionals I encountered on it. It was a distinctly different experience than I was used to. And while no online marketplace is fully immune from individuals acting with bad intent with things such as scam postings, Upwork invests an incredible amount of resources into making sure the marketplace remains a safe and trustworthy place to work. And there are a variety of indicators and implemented technology aspects to help us with this topic. Upwork provides secure messaging and video calls tools utilizing Zoom directly from Upwork messaging system. Now, this enables us to interact with clients in a way that we typically would all while being secured and available for any Upwork support or dispute assistance we may encounter. This is a major component of why the Upwork terms of service literature requires us to keep our conversations with prospective clients on the platform. Using these tools provided, that gives visibility into the communication chains, enabling Upwork support teams to be able to help us in the event of things like a dispute and needing dispute assistance. I'm going to drop a link for more detail on dispute assistance in the chat here. You'll notice I'll be dropping quite a few links here. Don't worry about reading them all now. They'll be linked in the recording later. But if something specifically piques your interest, maybe keep that tab open for later, okay? Next up, we have the ability to easily multi-factor authentication for our accounts to keep them secure. It is a simple process, costs nothing, and is a very effective way to safeguard access to your Upwork account. Now, it can be accomplished in a variety of ways. You can use authenticator apps like the Google Authenticator app. You can do it by text, Upwork mobile prompts, whichever method is most convenient for you. I come from a background working in cybersecurity, and I know that utilizing this type of setting is a powerful, while also convenient, security layer to add onto your online accounts. And anyone that's worked in cybersecurity before knows that there's usually a sliding scale between those two factors. Anything that is very convenient is not very secure, and anything that is secure is usually not very convenient. This, I think, rides that sweet spot in the middle quite nicely. And it just takes a second to set up, so no big deal, right? There are also multiple payment protection programs in place to ensure that you get paid for the work that you do. This was a problem that I personally hated having to handle on my own before working on Upwork. Chasing invoices was literally the worst. No longer an issue thanks to working on Upwork. But there are a few details on what is and is not eligible for payment protection on both hourly and fixed price contracts. Like, for example, on hourly contracts, one requirement is that the time needs to be logged via the Upwork desktop app. Another is you need to have an account in good standing, so you can't be suspended. And you need to make sure you're staying within the given contract limits. So I suggest you familiarize yourself with the full specifics via the article I'm going to drop in the chat now. But that payment protection is a really handy feature, and I think very important for us. Now, just like any relationship, personal or professional, trust is a two-way street. So similar to how we feel more comfortable working with clients who have that payment verification badge visible on their profile, Upwork also ensures that the clients feel confident working with us, the professionals on the platform, with things like identity verification badging. And that is a two-part process that hopefully everyone on this meeting is already familiar with as professionals on the platform. But just in case you're not, last link for that section I'm going to drop in the chat here. The next section of trust and safety, this is a major component. It's the topic of scam detection and prevention. Now, over the course of the last year, Upwork has significantly bolstered the machine learning detections to catch new scam tactics, and they're evolving constantly. Scammers are changing their approach to avoid being caught, and the Upwork teams have designed multiple agile systems to create layers of protection for our platform. Now, obviously, we only speak to this at a high level because if we give away the recipe, it's easier for scammers to get around it. But we've also implemented various checks at multiple stages in the client journey. Some clients may be asked to provide additional validation upon onboarding, and others before sending their first message, and so forth. This experience is intentionally varied for different client accounts to prevent scammers from being able to navigate around these defenses easily. And last but certainly not least, we believe that educating the freelancer community is truly a vital part of combating scam on the platform. Scammers can only find success when they convince freelancers to move off of the platform and send them payments directly. And with this in mind, we've updated the product with frequent reminders and education for freelancers, including hosted webinars like the one from earlier this year with Upwork Trust and Safety Director Caitlin McNerney, which dives very deeply into this topic. I'll post that link in a moment. We take a look at the current scam methods, how best to notice and avoid them. And as I mentioned, it's a constantly evolving topic. So keep an eye out for ongoing versions of this event as we keep the community up to date. It will at least be an annual presentation, possibly twice a year if it's deemed necessary. But let me drop that link here in the chat. A really good event. Super important to stay up to date on what those techniques are. Because I will say, even as someone who just sort of bathes in this topic, they get real crafty and they're real convincing sometimes. It's not always obvious. So in addition, we've also been building out more in-product education. And the message is simply this: payments should only flow in one direction, that is from the clients to the freelancer. Regardless of how convincing the reasoning may sound, it's highly suspect if a client ever asks a freelancer to submit payment. And freelancers can best protect themselves by keeping all communications and payments on Upwork. And in doing so, we combat the scam together. And last on this topic, reporting any suspicious activity is truly one of the most effective ways to help keep scammers off the platform. Every single report is received and thoroughly investigated and reviewed. So you can do that either from the job posting itself, you can flag it, or maybe you get to the interview phase and things start to sound a little bit weird. They're asking for payment or anything like that. You can report it directly from the chat there. That link I provided provides those additional details, but super important topic. I highly recommend you check that out. Okay, next topic here. I'd like to discuss the multitude of avenues available to us to become highly visible to clients and really stand out from the crowd, highlighting your unique offerings. One of the best ways to stand out to a prospective client on the marketplace is with the various badges you can earn, which populate automatically to your profile. Lindsey, can you walk us through some of the badging and certifications available to us on Upwork and our ability to capture those awesome clients and projects?
Yes, happy to discuss the opportunities on Upwork to highlight to clients your skills and how you can stand out through our badges and certifications. The first one I want to touch on today is the Upwork Skills Certification. Do you want to stand out in your field as a skilled professional? We offer Upwork Skill Certifications in web, mobile, and software development, design and creative, and customer support on an invitation basis. If you are invited and you pass the assessment, you will earn an Upwork Skill Certification badge that is shared on your profile for clients to see. Don't see your skill or one I didn't list off today. Please note that we're always expanding skills and looking for this, so come back to look in the future. Will, I don't have the link right now for this stuff, but I can drop it in after I kind of chat through everything.
I got it handy. Don't you
worry.
Awesome.
Thank you. Way to have me covered. Perfect. So the link that Will's going to drop in the chat will talk further about certifications and how you qualify for these. Additionally, Upwork offers badges due to the success that you have with clients in order to help you stand out to other clients on Upwork. The first one is Rising Talent, and this is designed to help you enjoy success as soon as possible on Upwork. And we created this badge to help highlight new talent in the marketplace. This badge can help you get started more quickly, grow your client base, and establish your reputation on Upwork. With this badge, there are benefits to this badge. You get a Rising Talent badge that is displayed on your profile for clients to see. You get a one-time bonus of 30 free connects, and you also get the ability to offer consultations to share expertise with clients. Will, do you have the link for this one as well for Rising Talent?
Yeah, I dropped that one in the. I dropped that all the talent badges in the link. I'll do one more.
Awesome. You are on top of it. So please refer to the Rising Talent in the Help Center to better understand how you qualify for Rising Talent and additional benefits. Next up is Top Rated. This one was created to help recognize the work that talent has put in to build their business and provide exceptional work to their clients to help them stand out and attract more clients on Upwork. Top Rated highlights professionals who have built a strong reputation on Upwork by getting positive feedback from their clients time after time. Please note that the Top Rated badge, sorry, they all get a little jumbled, but the Top Rated badge is the top 10% of talent on Upwork. The benefits that you get with this badge are, first off, you get the Top Rated badge so that clients see that you're in that top rated category. You have more control over your job success score. Invitations to submit proposals will be sent to you from talent specialists on Upwork. Our job digest email makes it easier for you to find jobs that are a great match for you. Faster payments on hourly contracts. Ability to offer consultations to share expertise with clients. And then you also get premium Upwork support, including phone and chat support. I know Will sent that over, so there's a lot more details to that. I know everyone's probably wondering, how do I become top rated? So please check out that article. It's a great badge and benefits on Upwork. The next one up. I'm almost there. Two more to chat through. The next one is Top Rated Plus. It was created to highlight freelancers who consistently perform well on large contracts at the highest level. So please note, you have to be top rated, and then Top Rated Plus is really to call out people that have done long-term or high budget jobs. As a Top Rated Plus freelancer, you get all the same benefits that I highlighted with Top Rated, but then in addition, you get that Top Rated Plus badge that will display on your profile, as well as for your project catalog projects. And last, but definitely not least, is our Expert Vetted Talent Badge. The Expert Vetted program helps identify and promote top-level talent. Expert Vetted talent are the top 1% of talent on Upwork, and there are only in select categories are you eligible for top or Expert Vetted talent. Expert Vetted talent go through a screening process and evaluate technical expertise and soft skills. Please note that Expert Vetted talent is by invitation only, and there is a screening process. So please check out the resources again to learn more about that program.
Thank you, Lindsey. Yeah, these badges are a huge part of it. That top rated one, I know especially, I leaned against heavy, when I'm doing my proposals. Say I'm a top rated freelancer, drawing attention to it. But I tell you, it works when the clients have 100 resumes to look through, 100 proposals. Seeing that top rated or Expert Vetted badge, whatever it may be, does make you stand out. Now, in addition to these accomplishment-related badges, last year Upwork released the Boosted Proposals and Available Now badge. These can be useful tools for those looking to stand out to gain clients and gain visibility on projects you feel is specifically well-suited to what you do. I did a product update event dedicated to this topic last year, which I'm going to drop the link in the chat right now. That recording is available, and this does a bit of a deep dive. And with boosted proposals, you can bid additional connects on your proposal, entering it into an auction to win a boosted slot at the top of a client's list. So it's a really handy feature when you come across a project that you believe you're specifically well suited for, and you want to make sure you catch the client's eye. I feel it's also a useful feature if you are a newer freelancer and you're really working to secure those first few contracts, but you don't really have the reputation on the platform yet to get that standout visibility. So that might be a useful tool for you to check out. The Available Now badge is a great way to indicate to prospective clients that you are ready right away to work and support them on their projects. Very useful when you have clients with those tight deadlines and need things moving immediately. I know I've worked with quite a few of those. By the way, a side note on that, I usually charge a premium when it's a quick turnaround. Highly recommend it. I'm going to drop some links in the chat right now on more details on those badges. So feel free to check those out. Now, for those who have joined me on previous events, you may have heard me refer to multiple avenues to getting clients on Upwork as having multiple lines in the water, sort of a fishing analogy. Now, especially when one is still finding their way on Upwork, increasing your odds of being put in the front of the clients looking for your skills is a prudent move to start creating that inertia on the platform. Lindsey, can you share with us a bit more about the various avenues to working with clients?
Yes, happy to do so. First up is specialized profiles. So specialized profiles allow you to highlight varied product offerings or specific niches you serve. You could have 3 profiles in total. So you have your primary profile that highlights everything. And then you have the opportunity to have 2 specialized profiles. Your general profile shows all the projects you've worked on Upwork. We designed this type of profile to show all the skills you offer to all your potential clients. But then there's the specialized profile, which shows the work history for projects that you choose to feature. It gives you the opportunity to describe one skill or one service in more detail. So when you're looking at a job that has those certain skills, you can highlight that profile so that the client only sees that profile. It's a great way to really highlight your different skills and then really hone in if there's a specific skill that a client's looking for on a project. The next one we have is project catalog. Upwork wanted to find a different way for you to focus on work you're passionate about, add revenue, build your portfolio, and attract quality clients. So we created Project Catalog. This provides you a new way to connect and grow on Upwork. Project Catalog is where you can let clients come to you. You're the one who gets to create the project. It displays as a listing that clients can open and learn more. Clients can find you by searching for skills and services you offer. Prospective clients can easily browse projects, discover the details, message you with questions, and start working with you all directly from that project that you posted. Meanwhile, you're in complete control, managing the visibility and workflow of projects to leverage the work that you're passionate about. If you haven't checked out Project Catalog, highly recommend it. It's a great way, as I mentioned, to add additional revenue, find new clients, and really kind of have that control because you're the one who created that project. Next up is agencies and teams. So do you want to grow your freelance business on Upwork? One option that is offered is to make the move from freelancer to agency, a business structure that enables you to collaborate with others to scale and take on larger projects or transition into a new niche. We have lots of resources in the Help Center as well as on Upwork Academy to help support you when starting an agency and help answer all your questions. Okay, so you're not ready to start a full agency, completely understand. But working with others, but you want to work with others, we have this exciting new feature that is coming soon called Teams. We're working with others can help complex projects become more simple. We've made it easier to communicate, collaborate with other freelancers on Upwork. You can build a network, exchange information and best practices, and connect with each other directly on the platform. For more, Will, do you see that link for more information on this one, on how to enable Teams? Awesome, cool.
Yep.
We'll share that because I'm sure there's a lot more questions around this. And again, I said that this is a new feature coming, so understand if you haven't heard of it yet, but really excited. It's a great tool to help you collaborate with other people.
Absolutely. And as a little teaser, I will be doing an event focused on this new team proposals thing coming up. So keep an eye out for that, probably in the next month and a half.
Awesome.
Now,
Thanks.
yeah. One of the other aspects I wanted to highlight here is full-time hiring. Now, full-time hiring is now accessible across all of Upwork, allowing Upwork talent to leverage this new type of engagement with clients. It also means that clients of all sizes can now compliantly hire across 165 countries around the world. So this program consists of two products, that is contract to hire and any hire. Both technically went live back in last October, and we've been scaling these products to understand how professionals and clients use them, as well as a demand in the marketplace. In terms of specifics for each product, contract to hire allows professionals to signal their interest in contract to hire roles via their profile. It's a little preference setting you can set. And this allows clients to reach out directly with those offerings. Now, you can also set in your job search filters at the very bottom. If you scroll down to the bottom of the filters, there is the contract to hire. And if you don't click that, you won't see them. But if you want to check that out, I believe since after releasing the product and testing the demand, we recorded over 40,000 contract to hire jobs put on the marketplace just from January 1st to the middle of February. So that's an immense amount of interest. And for those interested in that avenue, definitely an option. And just as a little caveat, it's under the umbrella of full-time. That doesn't necessarily mean that every job is 40 hours a week. It varies from location to project, but it does mean it's sort of working for the client directly. A lot more complexities involved in there. I'm going to drop 2 links in the chat here. One is an article that has all the information ready to go on it right now, and the other one is where the recording will be available in a few days. Only just did that event last week, so it's still in processing, but really good stuff there. For those who have joined me on some previous events, you may have heard me mention the Freelancer Plus membership. This is an upgraded version of the basic free membership available to all of us. And I personally am a big fan of the Plus membership and use it in my graphic design freelancing on Upwork. My personal favorite aspects about this program are the ability to see the high, the low, and the average bid on jobs. This really helps me bid competitively on jobs, or at least know where I stand in relation to other bids. Meaning, if I'm bidding at or above the top bids, I need to make sure and create a strong value statement in my proposal. One of the other aspects I really enjoy is that 80 monthly connects and the rollover aspect, which is super helpful. You know, some months I'm putting out a lot of proposals, other months I'm cruising on existing contracts and repeat business with clients. So it's a useful tool, especially when you're trying to get your momentum going on Upwork. Now, many of you likely saw a recent notification about some unique perks being added to this program, which are pretty cool. Michelle, would you mind talking us through this updated membership and the recent additions?
Yeah, thank you, Will. I love that you shared about your own experience with it because I think it's a little bit of an unknown feature, actually. I don't know that it's very well
Sure.
known that we have this program. But yeah, you can see this great kind of breakdown here of the difference between Freelancer Basic and Freelancer Plus. Freelancer Basic, just to be clear, that's your default free plan. So the Freelancer Plus plan includes that larger allotment of connects, the membership perks, and visibility into competitor bids, like Will mentioned. And then the timing of this is just wonderful because we've got actually a promo going on. So we have the opportunity to upgrade to Plus through the end of this month. And we are giving away access to 6 additional new perks for the next 3 months. That kind of sounds confusing. If you sign up by the end of March, you get access to these 6 new features for 3 months. And the Freelancer Plus is a monthly membership program. So to keep your access, you just need to continue your monthly membership through June 30th. But you can see here, some of these new perks are really amazing. We're big fans of these. We're really excited that these got added. There are Upwork coaching office hours, personalized coaching via email. There's a 0% service fee for when you bring new clients onto Upwork, access to our brand new Freelancer Plus group. You get skip the line access to Upwork skill certifications, which Lindsey mentioned a few slides ago, and exclusive events specifically for our Freelancer Plus group. So if you were on the fence or even just thinking about joining, now is definitely the time. Highly recommend it. Give it a shot. And all of these new features are going to be added through June 30th. So check it out. Let us know. And if there's other features also down the road that you're interested in us adding, or you think, hey, I really love this specific feature, definitely make sure that you keep this moving forward. We'd love your feedback. So try it out, see what you think. Hopefully you have as much success with it as Will does. And yeah, please enjoy those new features through June.
Perfect. Thank you, Michelle. As someone who's worked in a wide variety of positions over my professional career, I can state quite certainly that I am not professionally wired for sales and lead generation. Bravo to those of us on this event who have that skill set and passion to back it. I applaud you and the world of work needs you. But for me, I love the fact that whenever I log into Upwork, there is a ever updating list of fresh clients and projects available for me to reach out to. This is such a valuable part of my experience on Upwork, and I'd like to shine a light on the hard work and amazing teams within Upwork that make this possible for us all. One of the topics we discussed earlier is trust. When looking at this topic from a client perspective, brand recognition is a large part of trust building and organically attracting clients to bring their projects on Upwork. Remote working has become such a major part of how businesses run over the past years and shows no signs of slowing down. So as such, making sure that Upwork is top of mind when clients are looking for help augmenting their work capabilities is critical for the marketplace vitality. Michelle, can you tell us a little bit about the recent marketing efforts to aid brand awareness?
Yeah, absolutely. I don't know if any of you have seen a big increase in Upwork ads on TV in the past few months. I think it might be also regional, but there's been a big push for brand marketing, especially in the last quarter. And essentially the goal is to make Upwork the go-to brand for clients looking to hire talent. So we've been really pleased with the results thus far of this campaign. We call it our This Is How We Work Now campaign. It just launched in September, and we've just seen great progress increasing brand awareness, way more than we expected. Since that September launch, with that new campaign, unaided awareness has actually grown more than 30%. Essentially, what we're kind of communicating here is that increasing client demand on the work marketplace is a key driver behind our continued growth. We understand that the world of work has changed. It is changing. It will continue to change. And we want Upwork to be the first name that clients think of when they decide they need to hire skilled assistants. So since this campaign, we've seen an increase in website traffic and branded search volume, which is great news for talent.
Absolutely. Now, in addition to the marketing investments to increase brand awareness, Upwork has a multitude of teams working on the sales side to engage with clients of all shapes and sizes. These teams' efforts are critical to bringing in many of the enterprise and larger clients working on Upwork, making those projects now available to us, the professionals working on Upwork. Michelle, can you walk us through some of the results of these teams' accomplishments from the last year?
Yeah, absolutely. There's a lot of stats on this slide, so feel free to take a look at these. But the top two I want to specifically mention, that 17% average enterprise project size increase versus previous year, huge. And then the 45% year-over-year growth in the number of clients spending $1 million or more. Why does this matter? Well, the more clients are spending, the more job postings available to you. It means more diverse clients, more industries, bigger company size, or even just varied company sizes. And we want to make sure that there is work for everyone. But also, really with this slide, we want you to know that we are continuing to prioritize bringing more jobs to you. And this blue block on the left emphasizing our team, we have a team of professionals who their whole job is dedicated to growing our client marketplace. So we hope that when you come in and you're searching for jobs and finding work, that you're always seeing new opportunities, that you are excited to come onto the platform and look for new projects, because you know that we've been working behind the scenes to bring additional work and projects and client spend onto Upwork. I can very confidently say we are never going to be complacent in this space. We are always going to be committed to growth here. And at the end of the day, the more clients spend, the more you make.
Absolutely. Too right. Another area which I wanted to highlight today is how Upwork not only invests in the service-related items we've reviewed so far, but also in the communities around the world. So an aspect which really makes me feel proud to work on and with Upwork directly is the social impact and dedication to helping communities around the world, from natural and man-made disaster relief to supporting underserved communities and more. Upwork really shows that it cares with actions, not just words. And I think the Upwork Foundation is a great example to highlight how Upwork not only supports professionals already working on the platform, but is actively engaged in creating those opportunities to communities around the world who may not have previously had that option. Lindsey, can you share with us some high-level details about the Upwork Foundation?
Yeah, happy to do so. So as Will mentioned, the Upwork Foundation builds on Upwork's mission to support economic opportunity by connecting traditionally marginalized communities and life-sustaining knowledge and work, no matter their location. So just a little information is Upwork has donated $3.4 million in grants given to date, and last year alone did $1.8 million in grants in 2022. The Upwork Foundation will fund organizations focused on uplifting traditionally marginalized communities globally through their programs. And just like briefly touch on last year in 2022, the focus was really supporting groups that have been uprooted due to conflict. These grants from the foundation aim to help and provide better access to work regardless of a location, the right to work, and solutions that help displaced professionals over a longer term. Just to highlight that we do find it important to share with all of you that Upwork does have this foundation, so you kind of know the company that you're working for and working through, and how Upwork gives back to other parts of the world.
Yeah, it's important to know those sort of aspects and feel good, yeah?
Exactly.
And I dropped a link for more details on that in the chat, so feel free to check that out. As I spoke about in the beginning of this event, the Upwork community is such a vibrant and supportive place to connect with professionals both in your backyard and around the world. So if you've not delved into this segment of Upwork yet, I highly recommend you get involved. I'm going to drop a link to the sort of general community umbrella, and then we're going to dive in a little bit deeper here. So there in the chat for the community. Now, some of you may have joined us in an event we hosted last month where we spoke with a few of our group guides from around the world. Bethany and Vlad, who lead this program internally, walked us through some awesome conversations and user-led events that are going on in the rapidly growing groups. Lindsey, do you want to share with us a little bit about these groups and what one can expect when engaging with them?
Yes. The Upwork groups is a great place to connect depending on your geographic location, your work type, and then lifestyle and culture. As we mentioned, and on this slide, there's over 100 groups comprised of over 110,000 professionals just like you. So really, this is just such a great opportunity to go in and find your location, things you're interested in. There's Upwork Moms. There's, again, every different location. I live in Denver, Colorado. There's a Denver group. There's really just all different opportunities for you to connect with people, ask them advice on Upwork, chat about different skills, just really have that opportunity to connect with other freelancers. And then kind of mentioned on here, what are these groups for? advice and support, process troubleshooting, motivation. Just get in there and talk with other people. See how other people are being motivated, ask questions, build that sense of community. As like displayed here today, there's people from all over the world, and to connect with people in your own backyard or with people across the world is really that opportunity in groups. You get out what you put in it. So jump in there, check them out. We've seen so much success with groups, and we're so excited to offer this opportunity to everyone.
Thank you, Lindsey. Yeah, it's a fantastic program. And really, I think as independent professionals, too often we're sitting like myself alone in my living room, no offense to my dog. But we don't really get a lot of feedback. We don't get a lot of community, that stuff where you could walk around the office and say hello to people. We don't really have that right now. This is that in the new way of working. So, as Lindsey mentioned, whether it's, working with other graphic designers, if you're like me, or if you're a mom or a dad on Upwork, there's all sorts of groups, but it's a fantastic place to not feel alone, to troubleshoot, to work on these things. It's a useful tool. So strongly suggest you check that out. I did drop a link in the chat there. And that is to the event we did last month. Another way to engage with the community is via community-hosted events. Now, these fall into two primary silos, the talent huddles and mastermind sessions. Often these work in tandem with people in the groups that we were discussing on the previous slide, where folks in those groups will work with our events team to put together meetups and online events to network and support one another. Now, last year alone, these were 115 peer-to-peer events, meaning Upwork didn't make it happen. You guys made it happen. And it was about 1,200 participants across 17 countries, which to me is phenomenal. I love the global aspect here. Now, as we know, sometimes working remotely can be difficult, and you may miss having others to socialize and network with. So talent huddles are an opportunity to meet up with talent from your industry or geographic region to network, share stories, have fun together, things of that nature. I'm going to drop a link directly to the talent huddles in the chat here. And the other session, the other side of this, is the mastermind sessions. Now, these are smaller peer-to-peer group meetings exclusively for top talent, where you can share your experience, expertise, work to solve your freelancing challenges. And in 2022 alone, we had 16 mastermind events where these groups sort of mentor each other, hold each other accountable, things of that level. So very useful programs to take advantage of. I'm going to drop a link here for the masterminds. Again, the masterminds are only for that top talent. So don't be offended if you're not there yet. Something to work for, and maybe do a talent huddle in the meantime. All right, our last segment today, before we get into the Q&A, is the incredibly valuable and vast amounts of educational resources that Upwork creates and makes available to the community. This is a big part of why I was so excited to have Michelle and Lindsey join us today on today's event. Each of us on this program focus on various elements in this area to provide tips, best practices, and support on your journey with Upwork. So for those that have joined me on other events, this section will come as no surprise. Everyone knows how much I love the Upwork Academy and the wealth of easy to digest, on-demand lessons available to us there. Michelle, you've run this program since its inception back in 2021 and brought it to life for us fantastically in 2022. Can you tell us a little bit about the background on what the Academy program is about? And if possible, maybe a sneak peek on what we can expect down the road?
Absolutely. And I so appreciate you being such a wonderful Academy advocate, Will. I love that you constantly share in these events. So we appreciate it. But yeah, a little bit about Academy. If you haven't been or you haven't discovered it yet, essentially Academy is focused on ensuring that our freelancers can hear from Upwork on how best to use Upwork. So we created this space to provide that foundational knowledge needed to get started, and ideally to reduce your time to earn, to reduce the amount of time it takes for you to get started, to begin earning income and finding clients and finding work. Instead of having to source your own information, which we knew that previously a lot of our freelancers were having to go on Reddit or Facebook or scouring YouTube videos to try and get tips for building your business. And we just did not think that you should have to leave the platform to learn how to use the platform, right? We should be the ones helping you figure out how to use Upwork successfully. So we've provided and created this source of truth within Academy to be available to you whenever you need it. We also know you guys are all over the world. Your business hours are any time of day. And so our content is completely free. It is all interactive and it's all available 24/7. And even if you've been on Upwork for a while, even if you aren't new, we really still highly recommend you take a look. There might be tips to help you with clients or best practices for proposals that even a seasoned Upworker might benefit from. So we launched Academy in June, and since then we've created 13 courses and we now have 9 learning paths available. And you might be wondering what the difference is between these two. So really quickly, our courses are really in-depth, interactive courses that take you through a specific topic. And they range from anything to, putting a great profile title together, to finding work, working with clients. The courses, again, they're really in-depth on a specific topic. The learning paths, on the other hand, are a little bit more of a broad educational resource. And the learning paths are also, they have different formats within it. So essentially what we did to make the learning paths is we scoured all of Upwork. We went and found the appropriate help articles. We went through all of the information and resources in the Resource Center. So you might go into a learning path and find a couple courses. You might find a link to a specific podcast. There might be a YouTube video embedded in there. There might be a specific resource article. The learning paths are us curating content around a specific topic so that you do not have to go and do the legwork of finding everything related to that specific thing. So the courses are really in-depth on a topic. The learning paths are a little bit broader and have a little bit more varied formats of content available to you within those. So that's a little bit high level on Academy. Happy to chat more about that. But you also mentioned what's on the roadmap, or what's coming from Academy. So excited to talk about what's coming. We are always creating new content and improving on the current offerings as well. We have a lot of topics on our roadmap that we're going to be looking at and rolling out over this year. And we're also working on some client-facing content as well. Most of the stuff in Academy is talent-facing and for freelancers. But we also hear from a lot of talented freelancers that clients could benefit from knowing some things as well about how to hire, how to work with talent better. So we heard you on that. We're starting to create some client-specific educational resources. But essentially, I say that to mean we hear you and your feedback is really important to us. So additionally, we heard feedback about interest in agency. And so we actually went and created a learning path specifically for agency because we heard that you guys were hungry for that kind of content. You really wanted us to expand on it. And so we made it. You told us, we heard you, we made it for you. So keep the feedback coming on different kinds of content and courses and learning paths you might be interested in. And then also on the horizon is expansion to some external education providers and resources to help build your business. We are the experts on Upwork and how to use the platform, but we also know that you're interested in more than that. And we have a lot of talent and freelancers who want to upskill, to learn new skills, expand your expertise. So we're looking now at education partners who we can help bring discounts on their classes or their trainings, as well as just platforms and tools to help you do your work. We actually launched a partnership with a company called Wizard, which is amazing. Highly recommend you check their product out. Will, I think you even did an event with them.
I did, yeah.
They're amazing. They are an app and it makes it really easy for you to prototype apps or design projects for clients. We actually link to that resource in our Finding Work learning path. Anyway, they're a great example, but lots more to come this year with external partners that we want to bring to you. And again, your feedback and suggestions are important. Do you want design apps? Do you want language apps? Financial planning courses? We're all ears. Anything you're interested in, let us know, and we'll try to bring that to you. But a lot more news and updates and launches kind of coming out of Academy this year.
I love it. There's a lot of love being shown from the Academy here in the chat here. It's fantastic resource, especially for the client-facing education. I know a lot of people have been, it comes up quite frequently in events we have. So
we heard it a lot, yeah. We heard you guys.
But it's great. It's great to know that the feedback from the community gets truly digested by the internal folks and repurposed as useful packaged information. So thanks for sharing that. Now, one of Upwork's other highly valuable programs is our fantastic coaching program. The Upwork coaching team has been coaching and supporting talent for close to 7 years now, and Lindsey's been managing the team for the past 3 years. Can you walk us through your coaching department and what services they provide to the community members?
Yeah, happy to do so. So, as Will mentioned, the Upwork coaching team has been offering different forms of coaching and supporting talent for the last 7 years. And we offer support to talent in many different formats. Just a note too, we are part of the Upwork Academy, and we do have a full page and resources that live within the Upwork Academy. And there are 4 Upwork coaches, and our Upwork coaches also are really, you'll see them within the Upwork Academy courses and learning paths. They're really the ones who have supported creating that content along with other members of the Upwork Academy team. So they're really entrenched in everything Upwork Academy and really coaching talent on how to be successful on Upwork. So as I mentioned, there's different ways that we offer coaching as of today. We're always looking, we're always changing, we're always trying to find new opportunities. But the first one is we offer Ask a Coach session, which is in an office hour format, and it's offered weekly to all talent on Upwork. So feel free to come and join a Upwork office hours coaching session and ask coaches about ways to get started on Upwork, how you can grow your business. Do you have strategy questions? Do you have questions on how to improve your profile? You can come to these weekly office hours that are offered and connect directly with an Upwork coach. If you do visit the Upwork Academy and the Upwork coaching page, there is a calendar that shows when the office hours are offered weekly. Right now, we are just offering them one time a week, but if there's higher demand for them, we'll continue to offer more, just depending on what's best for all talent. Another thing that we offer is one-to-one email coaching. And this is where you get specific coaching from a coach. It's personalized coaching. And how do you get access to that? As Michelle mentioned earlier, in our new Freelancer Plus options that are being offered till the end of March. If you sign up for Freelancer Plus, you get the opportunity to get that one-to-one emailing coaching. As I mentioned, you get a dedicated Upwork coach, one of our 4 coaches, and they really will help you grow your business, give you advice on how to create a strong profile, tips on how to write a proposal that really makes you stand out to clients. And really, this coaching is meant for talents at all part of the Upwork journey. You could be new to Upwork. You might have questions on just how to create your profile and write those proposals. You might be top rated plus, and you just need a refresh. You need ideas on how to advance your business, how to grow it. If you feel like you're kind of stuck in a rut, I'm seeing in the chat, a lot of people ask questions around, I've been on Upwork, I'm top rated plus, but why am I not getting as many proposals or opportunities? This is a great opportunity to come talk with a coach and kind of refresh and rethink, what can I do to build my business? And then lastly, the last thing I wanted to highlight is that we are going to be launching more opportunities. We're going to be launching an updated coaching page within Upwork Academy next quarter. And in that page, there will be an opportunity for you to come and ask questions on that page directly to coaches so that everyone has access to an Upwork coach for free to really get advice. That's what we're here for. We want you guys to succeed. We want to help you grow your business along with Academy. So anything that we can do to support you, please check out the coaching page. That's what we're here for.
Absolutely. And I dropped that link in the chat a few times. Bookmark that one. That's a really good resource. The last topic I'd like to highlight for us today are the Upwork hosted events like this one. I'm part of the community events team here at Upwork, and along with our fantastic team of ambassadors around the world, we host community building, educational, and product update event themed. While the events I host tend to be focused on supporting our freelancers around the globe, as we've noticed from this event, many of our ambassadors host localized events in local languages, speaking to topics of concern for work vertical and geographically specific areas. Now, the events that I typically host fall into the following categories. I have expert talks, which is where I'm interviewing highly successful and inspiring speakers from the Upwork talent community. They share some of their tips, tricks, success stories, hurdles, and pains in their growing process. And other times I will interview some internal folks that lead different departments to share with us some information, such as Michelle sharing about the academy, where they can give us a little bit of a deep dive on these different segments. There is also, we do highlights on scam prevention and in-demand skills. I've already talked about scam prevention, but I'm going to drop a link here for a really cool event we did earlier this year, and we will do annually, which is the industry trends and in-demand skills. If you're looking to upskill and you're not really sure what direction to go, this walks through it. Clients in this area are looking for these skill sets. It's super easy to follow and probably a prudent idea on where to sort of grow into. I also host talent toolbox events, and these are typically more focused on the tips and tricks for succeeding on Upwork, as well as best practices for archetypal themes of freelancers, like writing proposals, dialing in your portfolio, profile, things of that nature. You'll find that in many of these events, we're joined by some of the fantastic Upwork coaches from Lindsey's team. So it's a great opportunity to connect with them and learn and grow together. And the sort of third main segment that I do is product updates. Now, as we mentioned, Upwork is a constantly evolving ecosystem. As professionals utilizing this powerful tool, it is a good idea to stay up to date on the new features and capabilities. This silo event is where we'll be doing deep dives on these topics, and we're often joined by the product managers who helped bring these capabilities to life. So it's a great way to get up to speed and ask questions directly to the folks who helped build it. The other branch of our community events team is the localized events that I mentioned. These are facilitated by our numerous fantastic ambassadors around the globe who put together in-person and digital events where they interview a wide array of professionals and dive into topics of concern to freelancers in the local language with a general focus on aspects which are pertinent to their specific location. The types of events you'll see in this space are like Community Hour. The virtual community hour serves as a sort of regular check-in point for community members to connect with one another, as well as internal members on Upwork. These are meant to be a little bit more informal and inclusive for all. The open mic segment are virtual rapid-fire knowledge-sharing events for community members who get together for an online share and learn event. Consider it like Will's top 3 tips, type of thing, but not internal to Upwork. There is also the Upwork Live, which connects you with people in your region around topics that matter most to you. These focused on helping connect our community by region and targeting specific topics to that area, such as tax regulations and setting up your business, because those answers change from location to location. What is true in Oregon, where I am, is not true in England. I can promise you that. And they also host top-rated meetups. Connect with fellow top-rated talent in person for fun networking opportunities. Things like a holiday party at the end of the year, New Year, that type of thing. Great place to have a drink and chat with a lot of folks. So with all that, let me drop one more link for us here. And hopefully you already all have this. This is where you can find what events are upcoming and what events have passed that you can watch recordings. Bookmark that site, tattoo it on your inner arm, whatever makes you remember it, doesn't matter. But this is good stuff. Highly recommend it. Good resources. So we took a lot of time to get through all that. I know we're running shy on time. Lindsey, Michelle, if you have to drop at the top of the hour, no problem. I will actually stick around for a little bit longer to see if I can answer some questions. Feel free to as well if you like. But before I dive into the questions, I just want to do a little plug here. Just as when you finish a project with a client, you hope that they give you feedback. We have a feedback that's going to be a survey that's going to be in your inbox just at the top of the hour here. Taking 2 minutes to fill that in lets us know, what do we need to learn about? What's working? What's helpful? What should we train about next? Things of that nature. So please take a moment after this event to fill that out. I do review it all, I promise. So with that said, let me go ahead and jump into the Q&A and see if we can get through a few questions. And I just wanted to point out there was one comment earlier that I wanted to highlight. I forget who it is from, but the lady mentioned that she's been working on Upwork for 4 years and had no idea the different profiles, the details on the specialized profiles. This is exactly what I was talking about when I was putting this event together. I've been working on Upwork for ages. I work for Upwork now, and I'm still learning about programs. So if I'm still learning about programs, I assume you are as well. So I just wanted to make sure that these are all visible. And it is my hope that you gain something from this event. So let me go ahead and stop sharing my screen here and jump into the Q&A. Okie dokie. In regards to skill certification, great question. It was specific to 2 categories. It got expanded to a few more different areas. It's not yet pervasive across all different work verticals, but there are support articles that speak directly to it, as well as 2 events that I hosted, I want to say in the summer of last year, that did a deep dive on them. So you should have those links already. We posted those, but those are good to go. And Lindsey, Michelle, if you see any questions that jump out at you, feel free to pipe in there. It's I'm just reading through.
There's so many great questions in here. I'm trying to think of.
A lot of love for Academy, that's for sure, seeing that. So the question, this is my second Upwork event. I'd like to know how to join the Upwork Academy. Good news is, super easy. It's with a link. Michelle, would you mind dropping that link in the chat for us again there?
Yes.
So you don't have to, I believe it's not a separate sign-in. It's with your primary Upwork login, right? To get access to that. Correct me if I'm wrong there. Okay, here's a question about test work. They're specifically saying test articles. Clients asking for a bit of test work for free. So I will state emphatically, and Upwork states in many locations, do not do work for free. And from a philosophical point, if you don't value your time and skills, no one else will either. And why should they? If you're giving the work away for free, then why should they be buying it? And there's also a psychological aspect to it. If you're willing to give it away for free, maybe it's not very good. And we know that's not true, but it's sort of a perception thing. So instead of giving work away for free when they're like, hey, we want a trial to see if you're worth the bigger investment, say, no problem. Let's set up a milestone contract. We'll make one little milestone, $40, $100. I don't know what you're charging, but one little milestone, and say, hey, I'll do the test project or the sample for this amount. And if we like it, we move forward. If not, we part ways. But if someone is not willing, if a client is not willing to make a tiny investment in you, bit of a red flag that you're going to be chasing that dollar for the rest of your time with them.
There's an Upwork Plus question or a Freelancer Plus question in here, which is a really good question because I know like the promo is a little confusing. So I'm happy to like clarify again. So for Upwork Plus, it says, is it a limited time deal, a free deal, or just that we get the new elements to try? So it is just the new elements to try. So the Upwork Freelancer Plus program is monthly $14.99. You normally get those top features that were listed in there. If you sign up by the end of March, we've added those additional 6 for you to try for the next 3 months. So it's not a free deal, but we're adding those 6 ones for free on top of the current cost for it. So we're not increasing the cost of the program. We're just essentially kind of piloting some new features. We're really interested to see, what do you guys find most valuable? Is it like, hey, this 0% fee for clients I bring to Upwork is like amazing. Don't get rid of this. We're trying some things out to see, what do you guys like most? What do you guys take advantage of more? And then kind of down the road, we want to see, should we add any of these back, or were some of these features people just didn't take advantage of at all? So it's still the same price, but for 3 months, you get 6 additional features. Hopefully that made sense. I will also throw the link back into the chat too, if in case it got lost, so you can see all that new stuff.
Awesome. Thank you, Michelle. And a good question here about providing a personal email account when someone's trying to do like a Google shared drive with you. Now, we all know, or should know by now, if we've been attending these events, that you do not want to take communications off of the Upwork platform before you have a contract in place. I would put an asterisk there and say try and keep all of them, regardless of timing, on the platform for support's sake. But there are instances where you may need to share external contact points. If I'm trying to share Google Drive files with you, or Dropbox, or any of those sort of file sharing programs, you will need a primary email address for them. What I would suggest in that category is wait until you have a contract in place before sharing that information, because it can inevitably lead to conversations leaking off of the platform, which can put your account in jeopardy and just lead to some potential issues. So order of operations, secure the contract, and then if you need to share some of that information, then I would suggest doing it that way, just to keep everyone safe and secure, which is what we want.
I do have to jump. I have a
meeting. No, thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me. So happy to chat about this. Excited to see all of your feedback. And if you have any questions for Academy, I'm sure we'll let you know.
Absolutely. Thank you, Michelle.
I'm going to jump too well.
No problem.
But let me know if there's any coaching questions. I did see a couple things, but nothing too crazy. So let me know if there's anything specific. Thank you, everyone, for taking the time to listen to us. And it was great speaking with everyone. Bye.
Thank you, Lindsey. Have a good day. All right, I'm going to stick around for a little bit longer, see if I can answer some questions here. Someone was asking about the top-rated badge disappearing. That is an organic part of the workflow. I provided a link on this earlier, but the Rising Talent is a badge that you can earn before you've done enough jobs to have a JSS, which is your job success score. Once you've had enough jobs, I don't know what it is off the top of my head, what that number is, but once you've had enough jobs completed and you have client reviews, that Rising Talent badge disappears and you now have a JSS. And then you can work towards getting top rated plus. So no worries if it disappears. That's part of the organic evolution. Keep an eye out for what your JSS is, but also don't stress on it in the beginning. The job success score is a percentage from 1 to 100. And it fluctuates quite a lot when you're beginning, because a percentage can be impacted when there's only 5 jobs. But once you get to 10, 20 jobs, that JSS doesn't move nearly as much. So I wouldn't stress on it too much. Obviously, you want that to remain high if you can. But if you happen to get a mediocre review and that drops down a little bit, just do a great job on the next project. Don't let it slow you down. In regards to certification on different programming, there was a question, will we have certification on things like QuickBooks, Excel, accounting? We don't currently have those certification processes in place, but a little teaser that Michelle alluded to is that we are exploring partnerships with various providers who do have courses and certifications on those various topics, on those like software specific type certifications. So keep an eye out for those. They are on the horizon. And I'll probably do a highlight event on those when they do go live. Great question, Daniel. How do I post other certifications like Salesforce or LinkedIn, things like that? You have the ability to put in your profile any certification, work history, client feedback external to the program, a variety of ways you can go ahead and put that in. I would absolutely make sure you link those skill sets, because they're pertinent. And as anyone who's worked for any long period of time in freelancing can attest to, that oftentimes a job may start this big, like in graphic designers. Hey, Will, can you make a new header for one of our web pages? Sure. And then if you do a great job on that, suddenly they're like, hey, Will, can you do a branding redesign for the whole company? We really liked what you did. So a lot of people have had that same sort of experience, with small jobs getting a lot bigger. So it's important to let your clients know what your skill sets are, because then they can discover how they may be able to expand that relationship. Rose, good question regarding the coaching options. I would take a look at the link I provided earlier to the coaching segment. If you're having any difficulties accessing anything, feel free to reach out to us either in the community forums or in the support channels. They'll route you the correct way. Okay, there's a great question here. How does it work when you bring customers onto the platform? So I think this is when you have a business connect with a client that is not working on Upwork and you want to bring them into Upwork, which makes a lot of sense. I like having all my payments in one place. And as I said earlier, I hate chasing invoices. So Upwork's fixed that for me. There is a BYOC, bring your own client program. I'm not an expert on that topic, so I don't want to spread any misinformation. I would strongly suggest you check out BYOC Upwork, do that little Google search. It'll bring you to the right articles to give you that information. I know, I think it was Michelle mentioned on the Freelancer Plus membership that one of the benefits in the next 3 months is to be able to do that at 0 cost. Although I can't tell you off the top of my head what the cost would be outside of that workflow, or if there is one, I'm not sure. There was quite a few questions around, scam postings and if all these measures are in place, how we're still seeing those. I strongly recommend you check out the event that I linked on identifying and avoiding scam on Upwork. One of the real statistics that really burned into my brain from that event was a fact brought up that the scam that makes it through the filters and the different layers of protection that we have and makes it to the platform only accounts for 10% of the total scam that's trying to be on the platform, which means 90% of the malintent posts that we're seeing are being blocked. So the ones you're seeing is just that 10%. So while we may see it and we may think, oh, why am I seeing all of these? It's actually really good, and it's done a really good job of scrubbing that. So I strongly suggest you check that out and keep it on your radar for future iterations where we go through what are the new and crazy methods they're coming up with to try and get around workflows and get payments sent. Very important topic, especially when you're a newer freelancer, because unfortunately I think they're targeted more than the veteran freelancers. All right, folks, I'm going to see if I can get one more question. I apologize, I haven't gotten to all the questions. There's so many lovely people contributing to it, but catch up in groups, catch up in forums for additional conversations. How can I get testimonials from my existing clients on Upwork profile? So if I have a client that I met out in the wild and I worked with them and they said, oh man, Will's the best. I say, yes, but tell the people at Upwork that Will's the best. You can do that. And you can trigger that from your profile in the testimonial side, I believe on the left-hand side when you're editing your profile. You can request a testimonial from a client external to Upwork, and the way that it validates that it's an actual human and not just your mate saying, yeah, Will's the best, is that it references against their LinkedIn profile. So the only thing that a client would need to do to be able to have you bring that into your Upwork sort of biome would be to have a LinkedIn profile to lean against just to verify they are actual humans. All right, folks. Thank you so much for joining on in this event. I know I had quite a few people drop off as we went over. I'm going to drop a link one more time to where we can find the recording of this event in the coming days and to see future events. Thank you so much for joining me today. I really appreciate it. And keep an eye out for the upcoming events. As a little teaser, I will be doing a few agency-themed events in the next month and a half. So if that's a topic of interest to you, stay posted. All right. And keep an eye out for that survey in your email inbox. I really appreciate your feedback. Thank you so much, everyone. Have a great rest of the week, and I look forward to catching you next time. Bye-bye for now.